Hey, what is up, fam? This is Jay from Autism Music Australia and the Hoad School of Music. Today we're going to learn about music theory, and I just want to say straight up that the way I teach music theory is super easy to understand. So if any part of you has struggled with learning music theory before, you are in the right place because I'm about to make it super easy. So by the end of this lesson, you're going to know all the names of the notes on the piano and all the names of the notes on the guitar. If you like what I do, please do me a huge favor and like this video, subscribe to this channel, and ring that bell button. All right, let's get into it. So firstly, why is this information so important to know? Well, because if you're playing piano, this information is going to allow you to know every single note on the keyboard. And if you're playing guitar, it's going to allow you to know every single note on the guitar fretboard as well as the names of the strings. And why is that so important? The reason that's so important is so you can communicate with other musicians. So after today's lesson, you're going to be able to communicate with any musician on the planet, and they're going to know exactly what note you're talking about, and you're going to know exactly what note they're talking about. Now, I'm not saying you're going to have it by memory. It might take a little bit to work it out, but you're going to be able to work it out really clearly and really quickly. Now, the good news is in the musical language, there's way less notes than in, say, the alphabet or in the English language. There's actually only 7 letters in the musical alphabet. That's it. And guess what? Those letters are the first 7 letters of the alphabet. They are A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. That's it. That's the entire musical language. Now, that's kind of like saying all there is to maths is these numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's all there is to maths. Now, obviously with maths, we can do a lot of things with those numbers, same like the musical language, but that's all there is to music, those 7 letters, A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. So please commit that to memory right now. Now I'm going to use a keyboard for my reference point for this lesson because it's really easy to see on a keyboard. So there's your system of A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. Now I'm just going to talk about the white keys for now. Just ignore all the black keys for now. Just look at the white keys. This system of A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, that's called 1 octave, okay? And that's really important to remember. What else is really important to remember? On a keyboard, this note here is a C. Now that note is always the note to the left of the 2 black keys. So please remember, wherever you see 2 black keys on a keyboard, the note to the left of the 2 black keys is a C. Now that information is kind of like a superpower as a musician because it's going to allow you to find a C on a piano anywhere. So if I look at a keyboard here, you'll see there's sets of 2 black keys and 3 black keys. Now remember what I just said, wherever you see 2 black keys, the note to the left of the 2 black keys is a C. Now whenever I talk low or high, I'm always talking in pitch. So low notes equals low and high notes is high. Okay, low, high. So you can hear that difference, right? On the keyboard, if we look, going down here, the notes get lower as I go to the left, down to the left of the keyboard. And if I go to the right of the keyboard, the notes get higher. Again, the most important thing now is if we look at the 2 black keys, wherever you see 2 black keys, the note to the left is a C. Now if I look down here, you'll see 3 black keys and then again 2 black keys. The note to the left is a C. Here it is again, 2 black keys. The note to the left is a C. Same up going higher. So remember that the note to the left of the 2 black keys is always a C. So this next picture might look a little bit tricky, but please just stay with me. It's all about to make perfect sense. Again, just ignore the black keys for now, okay? We'll explain those in a minute. For now, we're just looking at the white keys and seeing the sequence of an octave. Again, an octave is those 7 letters, A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. Now you can see here that sequence just repeats. Here it is again, A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, another octave. Again here, if I keep going higher to the right of the keyboard, A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. That's it. And again to the left, you can see another octave there and another octave there. So there's 5 octaves there, and it's just crystal clear to see when it's laid out. Again, the notes of the entire musical language, 7 letters. Super simple. Now I love this next bit because this is where most people get confused, but again, I'm going to make it super simple. So we've only spoken about the white keys so far. Now, in between some of the white keys, there's a black key. And this black key has 2 names, okay? Please stay with me for a tick. I'll simplify it. This black key, in this case, the note between an A and a B, it can be called either an A sharp or a B flat. Now, I simplify that. Let me just show this to you on the keyboard, right? So here's a C, okay, 2 black keys. So there's a C. Now if I go up with this sequence, it's alphabetical, right? So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. So from that sequence, from knowing where a C is, I can work out any note. If I'm on a C here, I could also go backwards. C, B, A, okay? It's an A 1 octave lower. Cool, pretty awesome, huh? So let's just talk about this A here. So if there's an A, then obviously the note after, the white note after an A would be a B. Okay, so A and B. So that note in between the A and the B can be called either an A sharp or a B flat. Now let me explain. If I play the A, and if I go up to this black key, I'll probably call that note an A sharp. I'll probably go A sharp, because I've raised the A, okay, I've gone A and I've raised the A up one note there, and then after the A sharp, we've got a B. Now, if I'm descending, that same note that I just went A sharp, B, if I'm descending, I'll probably call that A sharp a B flat, because I'm flattening the B, okay? So check it out, B, B, then down to a B flat, or an A. To be honest, I don't care. If you call that an A sharp or a B flat, it doesn't bother me at all. And to be honest, if you explain that to any other musician and you say you want them to play an A sharp, they're going to know exactly what note you're talking about. That's that note. Now, if you say a B flat, again, they're going to know what note you're talking about. It doesn't matter if you call it an A sharp or a B flat. It's the same exact pitch. Why has it got 2 names? Okay, this is where it gets really interesting. Why is music theory so tricky? So back in the day, right? So think of like medieval days, right? Knights, kings and queens. To be a musician was a really sought after thing. In fact, the word musician comes from the word magician. Okay, the word musician comes from the word magician. And just like magicians, they don't want people to know their secrets. They don't want people to know the tricks. So all throughout music theory, there's these glitches. And the way I teach, I exploit the glitches. I always teach the glitches first. Once you understand the glitches, understanding the rest of music theory is an absolute breeze. And there's these glitches all throughout music theory that make it way harder than it needs to be. So just to summarize that, we've got A sharp, and B. That's it. Now, are you ready for another glitch in the system? Here we go. This is very important to commit to memory, okay? Number 1, right here, there is no black key between B and C, and there is no black key between E and F. I wish I had a magic potion that would commit that to your memory forever, but there isn't one. You just need to remember it, okay? It's only 7 letters, right? Between B and C, there's no black key. Between E and F, there's no black key. Let's see what I'm talking about, okay? So here's a picture of a keyboard. So you can see right there, there's no black key between B and C. So there's my keyboard, A, B, C. So we just spoke a second ago about A sharp and B, or B flat and A, depending which way you go. But between B and C, you can see there's no black key, and between E and F, you can see there's no black key. Again, I don't have a secret potion, you just need to commit that to memory. And I just want to summarize too, with these sharps and flats, just to kind of make that a bit clearer. If I'm ascending, if I'm going up, A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, etc., I'll probably call them sharps because it just makes sense. A sharp, B, C, C sharp, and D. If I go backwards, I'll probably call them flats. Again, it doesn't bother me if you call them sharps or flats, but you know, you get the idea. So D, D flat, C, B, B flat, and A. It's up to you, okay? But what you do have to remember is between B and C and between E and F, there's no black key. Now that's obviously really easy to see on the keyboard. We spoke before that C is the note to the left of the 2 black keys. So you can see right there between C and B, there's no black key at all. And you can see again between here and E and F, there's no black key at all. And again, that just repeats in sequences of octaves. Here's A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. There's 1 octave, and that sequence then repeats. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, and so forth. Nice and simple. So just to summarize all this really quickly and easily, here is all the names of the notes of the musical language. So here you can see all the white keys, A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. Now down here I've written all the white keys in white. And then I've written all the names of the black keys in red. Now again, you can call it A sharp or B flat. It doesn't bother me, but that's that black key right there, okay? A sharp or B flat. So here's all the notes of the musical language. This is it. If I ascend, I'll go A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, and then back to A. If I'm going backwards, I'll go A, then I'll probably, instead of calling that black key G sharp, I'll probably call that black key A flat. Okay, you can see that at the top there. So A flat, then to G, then G flat to F. Now F goes straight to E because there's no note in between. E flat, D, D flat, C, B to B flat, and A. Well done. You now know all the names of the notes in the musical language. If you've got any questions or any comments, please put them down below. I'd love to see what you think about this. And hopefully I've made this really easy for you. I wish someone explained this to me when I was learning music theory like this, because the way I was taught was a lot more complicated. So now let's relate that to the names of the notes on a guitar. Now I have another tutorial with the names of the frets on the guitar, so you can check that out if you want to know more about the guitar. But this will quickly get you going and apply all that information we just learned quickly to the guitar fretboard. So firstly, if we look at the names of the guitar strings here, the first string on the guitar is the low E string. Now, when I look at this on a guitar, when I say the low E, I'm talking about this, the big fat string, okay? The string that's closest to your head, okay? And that's the lowest sounding note on the guitar. There's no other note that's lower than that. If I go the other end of the 6 strings, that is also an E string. It's the high E. Now again, I don't really have a magical pill to assist you in remembering all the names of the notes of the strings of the guitar, but there's a little rhyme here if you want to remember from the low E string. Eat at Dad's, good breakfast every day. Okay, there's plenty of different rhymes too for that, but that's one I use a lot with my kids when I'm teaching. So if we look here, starting on the low E string, that's that first string, then we've got the next string is A, the next string is a D, then a G, and then a B, and then at the top there, you've got the high E string. So again, if I just show you on the guitar here, we've got the low E string, then we've got the next string in A, then we've got a D, then we've got a G, okay? Then we've got a B, and at the top there we've got the high E string. That's it. That's all the names of the strings on the guitar. Now to make this really easy for you, that second string on the guitar there is called an A, okay? And that's the string that I'm going to speak about today. So this string here is the A string. Now just a minute ago we learned about all the names of the musical language, okay? And we learned that if we go up on the keyboard here, we have like A sharp, B, C, etc. So on the guitar, if this string here is the A string, well that means that the first fret on this A string, guess what that note's called? That's an A sharp. And guess what the next fret on that A string is called? It's a B. And guess what the next note after the B is? If the open string was an A and the first fret was an A sharp, again we've got A, now A sharp, now B. Of course, the third fret on the guitar on the A string would be a C, because we follow this system always. That's the system of the musical language. A sharp, B, and C. Then the next note after C would be C sharp and D. So if I just again relate this to that guitar string, so here's my open A, now A sharp, now B, now remembering B always goes straight to C, then our next note would be C sharp, our next note would be D. What would be the name of the note after D? D goes to D sharp, then that goes to E, and that goes to F, because there's no black key in between E and F, or no note between E and F. So if I go back to that D, I'm now here on the guitar fretboard on the A string, I'm on that D. So I'm going to go D sharp, then to an E, then to an F. Okay, can be a little bit confusing at first. After the F, we're going to have an F sharp and a G sharp and an A. Now that's going to apply to all of the guitar strings the same way. So if that first string is a low E, okay, this string here, low E, guess what the name of the first fret on that low E string would be? Let's have a look at our system. If we're on the low E, okay, the next note after an E would be an F. There it is, F on the first fret. What would be the name of the next note? Call it F sharp. You could also call it G flat, doesn't bother me. I know exactly what you're talking about. The next note after an F sharp, that would be a G. Then a G sharp, and then back to A. Okay, if you look at the picture up here, that's where it can be a bit confusing too. After a G, we've got G sharp, and then it begins the next sequence again, an A. Now, the piano is a lot clearer, is more clearly laid out to see the music theory in action. The guitar is trickier, right? Because of the way the strings are set out. It's not all alphabetical again. Another glitch in the system. Why did they design the guitar like that? Well, there's a lot of reasons, but one possibly is that it was another glitch in the system. They wanted it to be more difficult. So anyway, that's it. I hope you've enjoyed today's theory lesson. You now have a pretty solid grasp of all the names of the notes on the guitar and definitely on the keyboard. Please check out my tutorial on the frets of the guitar to go a bit deeper in that, and I'll break down some really cool things about that. Thank you so much, and please check out all my courses on my website. I'll see you soon. Have an awesome day. Peace.